Hey everybody, it's me, Sage. You're gonna watch this cool video that I just made, but before you do that, why don't you look in and see if you're subscribed? YouTube says that this number, so it's one of those, is in fact the percentage of people that are not subscribed, and it's a big number, I assume. Well, anyways, bye. But watch the video. Thanks. Oh.
So I tweeted out, like this tweet if you want to become a big streamer. And I tweeted this for two reasons. One, I wanted Twitter likes. And it's called
3 to 5 creators you want to emulate. Okay. That's actually pretty good advice. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to follow Ludwig's ways into success.
2.5 years, almost 3, of Greg.
Yeah, I know.
How to be streamer? Well, to be streamers.
Okay.
So it's like...
Let's do it. Fuck it. Right? What do I have to lose? How to be a streamer.
Most people in this chat like the idea of being a streamer. All right, every single person who said yes, whether you said it to yourself or you voted, whatever it is, you need to do this right now. Write this down. This is not a joke. I'm being very serious. I want you to write this down. I know it's a bit corny. All right, try to do it on pen and paper. If you don't have it, you can do it on your phone notes and take a screenshot. But really, actually do this. Write this down. 3 things. First of all, if you want to be a streamer, when are you going to start? Set a hard start date when you're actually going to start. If you've already started, maybe this is the date that you're going to start your YouTube or start a new series or whatever it is. Just write some date where you're going to start achieving something you've been saying you're going to do. Number 2, write your goals for 1 year out. This can be for the start of 2022, maybe 1 exact year, maybe a few months. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is have a set period of time and goals you would like to achieve by the end of that set period of time. Now, look, this is not your end goals. If you want to be the biggest streamer in the world, you don't have to write, I want to be the biggest streamer in the world by 2022. It's not really realistic. But you can write goals on the way to your final goal. And it's okay if you don't have everything figured out. At least write something down that you would like to do. And hey, this doesn't have to be numbers. Like, streaming doesn't necessarily imply you need to be a big streamer. Maybe your goal is just to make a community that you really like being a part of. Maybe it's just to record all of your Rocket League gameplay, in which case it's very easy to achieve your goals. Success isn't based on how big of a streamer you are. It's based off the goals you set and your ability to achieve them in a certain time frame. All right, that's what I think, at least. That's how I've done things, and that's what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah, my that's pretty good advice.
And then the final thing to write down, 3 to 5 creators you want to emulate. Not necessarily that you like, because maybe you like Shroud, but you don't frag like Shroud frags. So write someone that you like that you think you could emulate. Here's an example of mine. I've done this. I know I'm being a bit corny, but this really happened. I did this in 2018. I wrote down all my goals. I didn't actually just do it for stream. I did it at New Year's. I did it for many different things in life, but these are my stream ones. I wanted to...
Okay. Well, who are some people that I want to emulate? You know, I do appreciate Atriox's videos. I think they're pretty funny. I like that it's like stream content of him getting hype. And him talking about something he's an expert on. That's pretty good. I think I want to do that. Video game donkey. Yeah, let's make some video game donkey type of videos. Things that are short, silly, like sometimes there are reviews. He does like reviews. He does just whatever he feels like, but it's never boring, right? I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, probably Ludwig, right? Ludwig, excellent content. Community loves him because of the things he does and how he acts. That'd be nice. So I'll try to act like that. Whose stream do I like watching, honestly? Unironically, I love Jake and Bake stuff. And then, like, his IRL streams were some of the best streams out there. Like, honestly. Jake and Bake live. I guess the other Jake too, right? I love to make, like, cool video essays like Jake and Bake. Or Nakey Jakey. Yeah. Also, you know who else I really want to emulate? I can never remember his fucking name. Shotguns in movies. Gus! Motherfucking Gus. I want to make videos like this, dude. This shit is so... Gus Johnson is so fucking funny. I'm gonna do...
To hit 2,000 subs, 100,000 followers, 1 million unique viewers. I want it to be punctual, and I want it to go full time. And I went 4 for 5. 4 for 5 is goals. I didn't actually just do it for stream. I did.
Do I think I can get 2,000 subs in a year? That's insane. $2K subs. You know what? My goals aren't his goals.
I did it at New Year's. I did it for many different things in life, but these are my stream ones. I wanted to hit 2,000 subs, 100,000 followers, 1 million unique viewers. I want it to be punctual, and I want it to go full time. And I went 4 for 5. 4 for 5 is pretty good. That is pretty good. 4 for 5. We'll take 80%. That's a B minus. That's a 3.0. Almost 2.667. Still pretty close. Still pretty close. At the end of the day, I was able to set goals and then hit them. I hit these goals by the end of 2018. And then I was able to keep going. Part of the reason you do this is because, hey, it's very obvious that streaming's not for everyone. It's also obvious that it's better to take a shot on something than to never try it and regret that. But how do you know how long to do it or what to do? Well, this does that all for you. If you write down your goals and you set a time frame to hit the goals in, then at the end of the period, right, at the end of next year, 2022, you can reflect. You can be like, hey, I went 0 for 5. My goal was to hit 100 average viewers and I'm at 15. Maybe I am not cut out for being a big streamer. And that's an honest conversation you can have with yourself, but only if you do the work now to set goals, to set a time frame, to understand it, rather than just kind of 9 to 5 grind. I just go live. I'm just doing my thing. I've been doing this since 2018. That's all shit. All right. At least set yourself some sort of time frame so you have some sort of growth and progression that you can accurately and objectively look back on. I've also put the 5.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote it down.
Write anything down, but you want to be a streamer. This is the #1 best thing you can do. The absolute only lesson to take away from today if you want to make it big on Twitch.
Is it quit? You're gonna say quit?
Quit.
Based.
Fucking quit right now. That is my advice to you. Yeah. If you didn't even take the 1 to 2 minutes to write something down from a man who is a top 100 streamer who knows a thing or two, then I promise you, you will not make it through 0 1-viewer streams for 5-6 hours at a time. It's gonna be miserable. You're gonna hate it. It's not gonna be fun, and you're not gonna achieve your goals if you didn't even write them down in the first place. And this is not trying to be mean, but let's just take a guess. Chat, I want you to guess right now. Tell me the number of people who streamed last month. 50,000, sure. 650,000, wow. 5 million, okay, sure. Big range, it is 6.9 million. 6.9 million unique streamers every month.
Damn.
Streaming is not as it was in 2013. It is very well known, it is very mainstream, and it is very competitive. If you wanted to become the best employee at Walmart, the largest
I didn't even notice
company in the world in terms of numbers of employees, you'd have to beat out 2.2 million people. That's just the numbers. That's just the ability to be a millionaire if you make it to the top. I will say though, and this is important, let me switch over for just a moment. If you're wondering, because we talked about making it is 0.66%, let's just talk about making to that 10,000 viewer mark. You might be thinking and seeing millions in the eyes, which is great. I mean, sure, dream big, think big, whatever. But let's talk about stands. I do a lot of streams of stands. Stands averaged 400 viewers this past month. Stands has about 700 subs. Stands is the top 0.06% of Twitch. Think about that. You don't think of Stands as a big streamer, but in reality, he is top 5,000 of 6.9 million. This is truly impressive if you get here. Truly, and I mean that. That is a big deal, and it is very hard to do, but this is more realistically your upside when you start streaming rather than a channel like mine or a channel like XQC's. I know I told you to write down your goals and dream big, but also just understand the math and the numbers. Stands is a top 0.06%. He's the top like 10% of the top 0.6%. And that's all partners.
That's crazy.
So that's just something to keep in mind. He's the top 10% of all partner streamers. And that is a realistic goal to have. You should at this point have found out whether if you wrote things down, you are even cut out for step 2 or not. But if you did write things down and you did actually do what I told you to do, anyone can take advice from the second part. How do you stream? You already figured out that you do want to be a streamer, why you want to be a streamer, what your goals are as a streamer. How do you do it? How do you stream? Well, this is my one advice, my biggest advice. Streams are recordings. That's what it is in 2021. That is the best way you can think about a Twitch stream. Why? Are absolutely terrible on Twitch, and I don't see that changing. And so the permanence of a YouTube video means that even if it doesn't do well in the first month, maybe a month or two from now, you'll be able to look back and be like, oh, this video actually did well. You can't really do that with streams. For example, I did a stream the other day. I did the higher lower stream, and it did okay. I had an okay number of viewers on Twitch. I had like 22K, but it didn't do that great. But my YouTube video has right now 560,000 views, which is 100,000 above average. The fact that it's permanent on YouTube lets me see that. If I only had Twitch, I would be like, oh, if I play higher or lower on stream, it's only okay content. No, it's better than okay. It's just that people didn't know it was happening or weren't live to watch or busy, whatever. It's harder to get viewers on Twitch in the moment, and it's bad to gauge success off of your live viewer count when it can be influenced by so many variables and be so Dogecoin-esque, if I can. Next, structured format is better content. This is general advice, but generally, YouTube videos are structured. I think we kind of know that. You know how a YouTube video generally goes. Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back here with another, you know the vibe. Twitch streams don't have structure inherently built in, which usually makes them a bit worse. Structure just allows you to have a very concise beginning, middle, end. And a very concise beginning, middle, end is usually better than just a hodgepodge of whatever the hell you're doing while live. And then finally, every YouTube video is a lottery ticket. Like I said earlier, if you upload a YouTube video, it has a chance to pop off. It really does. If you go live, you're never really gonna have that chance to blow up off of a stream. The only people I can think of that blew up off of a stream either were like collabing with somebody really big or came from a platform with a lot of viewers. Nobody just blew up out of nowhere overnight on Twitch. YouTube can happen overnight. I mean, literally overnight, you can blow up. And you've seen that time and time again. Dream literally was like a 10K Andy on YouTube at the start of 2020. He's doing pretty well. That would not happen if he only streamed. Admittedly, this whole thing was about how to stream, and we've only talked about YouTube videos. That's because it's time to start formatting your streams around your YouTube videos. So you have to stream for YouTube. Now, when I go live, I'll have segments, and that's how I think of it. I'll have segments for YouTube, And I'll stream those segments, and then I'll have like filler time in between. And then I'll have some things that aren't for YouTube. And that's fine, but you need to have some segments. Very roughly, they work like this. They'll have an introduction to the idea, to what the segment is while you're streaming. I'm going to give you an example of a YouTuber doing this because I think that this is probably the single best YouTuber, and they get a credit for a lot of other things, but they don't get a lot of credit for this at introductions. And that's, of course, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, I think, is the best YouTuber at doing introductions. And even though we're talking about streaming, I take away, and you also can take away, how to do these intros on Twitch. Let's just take a look at this.
In this video, we are going to be eating $100,000 golden ice cream,
I'm blown away. This is so good.
$5,000 mac and cheese,
This mac and cheese is magnificent.
$30,000 banana Foster,
Ooh, that's incredible.
and so much more, starting off with $100 ice cream and working our way up.
That was 19 seconds top to bottom. And what did the introduction do? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. It introduced the idea, the concept, what they're doing in the stream. All right, so explained it. If you're going to be watching what's happening. 2, it introduced stakes. Stakes are an integral idea into every stream. You need stakes in whatever you do. It just makes it better. Stakes can be very small. It doesn't have to be the amount of money. That's the stakes for this one. All right. So the idea is we're going to be eating expensive foods. The stakes are that every food will increase in price. And then it also says how this will end. How does this whole journey come to a close? Well, it comes to a close when we eat $100,000 ice cream. That is how it closes. So then the video, you can expect that they'll start eating foods, the stakes increase. All right, there's more and more and more and more expensive things. It ends when they eat that ice cream. That's the entire thing. You can do the same thing on Twitch, and we do it all the time here on this channel. For example, we just did unbanned form speedruns. Okay, introduce the idea. We're doing unbanned forms, but we're speedrunning it. Okay, that's the concept. What are the stakes? Well, the stakes are we want a good time. We want to try to get world record. This costs no money, but those are the stakes, trying to get a good time. When do we get to the conclusion?
Pretty good point.
When we beat the time and get the world record.
I'm actually going to take notes.
The meat and potatoes are me just doing the runs.
Stakes.
Introduction says everything that's going to happen. Conclusion is when I finally got the world record.
Now we have stakes. So the title of the stream right now is Ludwig, the secret to 1 million viewers and subscribers, and I'm learning it. Yeah,
very easy, very straightforward. Okay. You don't necessarily need money, but you can create streams in segments that have all 3 of these aspects. And when you stream for YouTube, the beautiful thing about it is your stream is better, but also you get a YouTube video that is very easy to edit. You can just edit down because everything's built in, and you get to trim out all the fat until you have just this beautiful lean YouTube video that is the 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, of gold of the 30-minute hour recording. So it's just a win-win-win. There's no losing here. And don't get me wrong, it is still fine to go live and do regular streams. I actually had a problem when I first started streaming where I would only do segments. I was like, if it's not a segment, it does worse on viewership. There's no point. I just need to do segments. Well, you can do both. And I've learned that. That's something I had to learn, and I had to deal with things like numbers going down and viewership being bad, and that's something that takes a bit of time. That's like a personal journey. You just have to one day get over it. There's nothing I can tell you. You just have to one day get over it. But I've learned that I can do segments, plan out segments, and then do like it's not 2013. The competition's too fierce. Your stream's probably not going to get found. You're probably not better than the good gamers at games. Probably not funnier than the funniest people at being funny. And even if you are, you have to be not as funny as Moon Moon. You have to be funnier than Moon Moon to get found because people already know who Moon Moon is. So rather than stream like XQC streams, stream for YouTube. And you can do both, but just remember to include segments. Just promise me you will not do
that is kind of the problem,
grinding, hustling, 9 to 5.
I can't be as funny as Ludwig. I have to be funnier than Ludwig. Which, I mean, not that hard. But still, like, you have to keep shit like that in mind. I have to compete and be more handsome than, say, Mizkiff. Yeah. I have to have thicker legs than train wrecks. Yeah, this is easy. Thanks, dude.
putting in my 8 hours of a video that will help him grow a little more. It's also important to form ideas, and this is an interesting concept, form ideas around titles. So if you have the title of what you're gonna do, you can form the idea around it. And that's kind of like all of Small Ant's channel. So I think Small Ant is a really excellent streamer and YouTuber, but let's just take a look at his YouTube channel for a moment. All of these are just really interesting and engaging titles. I turn the floor in Mario Odyssey to lava. Pokemon Ruby, but all opponents have Wonder Guard. A Breath of the Wild YouTuber thought he was better than me. Can you beat Eventide Island without touching the ground? If you form a concept, a stream around just the title, you write your clickbait for you, you write your title for you, and the content will be very natural. It's a lot of work. He works really hard to beat all of this, but it's a good way to do it. So for example, if I want to beat Pogo Stuck upside down, I'm working with the title. I beat Pogo Stuck, but it was upside down. That's my title. That's what I'm working with. And then the content will write itself. So Small Ant, great example of that. Great example of having titles, both in streams, because he streams all of this, by the way. He streams all of this that translate to good YouTube videos. All right, let's go next. The 3 ways to grow. Okay, 3 ways to grow. We've talked a bit about the middle one. We're going to go on it a little more, but let's start with collabs. Collaboration is probably one of the best ways to grow. I am not dumb. I am not oblivious to the fact that I have used Corpse, Technoblade, Sykkuno, Pokimane, you name it, and it's helped me grow. I mean, that's just a fact. If you collaborate with people, it helps you grow. And it needs to be in somewhat of in an authentic way. Obviously, if the content is worse when you work with someone, then it won't really go well together. But collabs just help. They really help. It's a thing. You can think as on the nose as when XJaws brought on Syndicate to his YouTube channel, and then Syndicate blew up into a larger YouTuber than XJaws. That's something that happened a few years ago. Or you can think of it as minute as an Among Us game where Yeti makes a brilliant play and everyone's like, who's this Yeti Apocalypse guy? Like, yes, you also have to be good. You also have to have a good bedrock of content. It's not as easy as just streaming with someone. Because I promise you, I've streamed with a bunch of people in Among Us who have 15 viewers when we started and have 15 viewers now. But if you have some sort of skill, some bedrock of content that people can absorb the moment they see you and you're exposed, then you're gonna do well. Does that make sense? You need to have something there ready. So let's think of the Mr. Beast Challenge 1 video. Mr. Beast did a challenge. He shouted out the channel of a winner. The idea was get this person 1 million subscribers. And it was a contest where you get the winner of the contest 1 million subs. And the guy who won was Zealous. Zealous is at 2 million subs. And the only reason he's there is because he had content that, one, was quite similar to Mr. Beast's, already there as a bedrock. If Mr. Beast shouted out a channel that had never posted a video, they're not going to go anywhere. And look no further than every time a big streamer hosts a 20-viewer Andy. You host a 20-viewer Andy, they're not ready for it, they don't have the content for it. You look back a month later, still a 20-viewer Andy. I remember so vividly Shroud saying that Twitch is a lottery, rating or hosting some random guy playing some, like, it was like Dead Cell or something. I forget exactly the game. And I looked back like 2 weeks later to see that guy's channel. Same number of viewers as before the Shroud raid. His content wasn't ready. It literally just wasn't ready. So collabs are good, but you need to have a bedrock of content to make them work. And they don't have to be with insanely large streamers. You can have a whole that's better than the sum of its parts when you work with other people. And that's totally fine. Otto, that motherfucker leached his way in, but he had something to offer of value. He actually was a godlike programmer who could make things that were valuable. I used Otto. I needed Otto for content. Otto's great. And now he has like 500 plus viewers. That's great. He didn't send me an email saying, hey, Ludwig, I make programs. He made a program for me and put it on my subreddit. So make something, put it on the subreddit, donate with a link, whatever it is. There's 1,000 examples of this working. It can work again. That's how you collab with someone big, or you can just collab with someone smaller and more your size. And that is also easier as well. Does that make sense? Next, outside traction. Look, I think conventionally everyone knows, like, hey, you gotta be posting.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? Like me collaborating with like a slightly bigger streamer, I have to present something for them to want to do it, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair.
On YouTube and TikTok and Twitter. And that's great. And that is true. That is all true. Twitch does not have really good growth mechanisms. These other sites do. You can bring viewers from those sites over to Twitch to stream or wherever you want to stream. It can also mean getting outside traction from a community. You don't just have to post to the void of YouTube and hope that some people find it. I was a part of the Super Smash Bros. Melee community in a very genuine way. It's my favorite game of all time. I made a lot of friends from it, and I made content for it. And it is a lot easier, I promise you, to get noticed in a community that small when I post on their subreddit a YouTube video I made and get traction that way than to just post on the YouTubes. That is a lot harder. I promise you that is a lot harder. So if you have a community you're in, and it does have to be authentic, right? You can't, people are smart. Like, people are smart. People can tell very quickly when you're inauthentic or like clout chasing, and they'll call you out for it, and it'll be a mess. It won't be worth the time. But if you're in a community in an authentic way, you can make content for it. You can grow within that community. And then after doing that, expand that to something else. Variety streaming, whatever it is. You know what I mean? A lot of people you like over doubled it because I did a big event. Big events will help you grow. I know you got to focus on the day-to-day, but you can't get lost in the day-to-day and not do these large events. You got to spice things up. You got to make sure that you're always innovating, trying to do big things. So big events are important. Hosts and raids are fickle, and I don't want you to think of them as growth mechanisms because they rarely, if ever, are. And I think people overvalue them in a major, major way. So now we know how to grow. We know that you want to stream, why you want to stream, what your goals are for stream, how to stream. Now we have to think of ideas that work for you, how to do them, but what do you stream? This is a very basic question that people always ask. It's maybe the number one question.
The answer is it doesn't matter, right?
Ludwig? Okay, good question. What do you stream? Sure. Okay, let's talk about it. I first and foremost think this question is probably talked about too much, because as long as you are doing everything in these streams like recordings section, then what you stream isn't as important. You know what I mean? Because you can really make anything work. There is one thing that I've done that will always work. It's tried and true. This is the number one thing you need to stream to make it big. The yoink and twist, baby. What everybody else is doing. That's right. Yes. Yes, you do not have to rewrite the entire playbook. We do not need a New Testament. We're good. Jesus got it down the first time.
Actually, stream idea. You laugh, you lose in Apex. Right? Every time you laugh at a video, every time I laugh at a video, I have to drop all of my gear and I have to get new gear. That's good. That is a good. That's good. That's a YouTube video for sure. Yes, that is a good Apex video. Fuck yeah. That's great. Wow, actually worth watching this fucking video by Ludwig. Thank you. And that's
maybe it feels scummy or bad, but I promise you that there is very little to no originality in streaming or YouTube. Mizkif is swapping his unbanned forms with Maya today. Wow, that's a really good idea, Mizkif. I like it a lot. Let's just go ahead and take a look at a video I made a couple of days ago. Oh, I swapped streams with Cutie Cinderella. Oh, interesting. Oh, it was unbanned forms. Huh, interesting. That's fine. I don't have any claim over it, all right? But at the end of the day, if you are the first to it, you will probably be more successful. If they don't add their own twist, they are capped to what they pulled from. That's just how it works. You have to add your own twist or else you have a ceiling. A lot of times in the past, and we'll do a lot of times again in the future. Because viewers only like what they know. How is a viewer supposed to like something you haven't done yet? If anything, they're apprehensive to it. They'll probably want you to do the thing that they liked because they know that they like that, rather than you bringing new thing to them and then being like, well, I don't know if I like this thing and I like this thing, so let's just make sure we do this thing. AKA my chat spamming for me to play Monkey Ball. That is the same scenario. Maybe I can play Monkey Ball. Maybe I can cop another 500K on YouTube. That is consistency over creativity. And there are lines where you have to draw in the sand where you're like, I don't want to keep doing this. I'm tired of this. And that's fine, but just keep this quote in mind. And that brings us to our final slide. If you want to make it big on Twitch, you want to be a bigger streamer than me, you're just starting out, you simply have to be better. You have to be a better streamer than I am. You cannot even be as good as me. That will not be enough. Unfortunately, the rich get richer. The big channels get more viewers. I'm at the top of all categories I stream on. My YouTube videos get recommended more than you. So whatever you're doing, it cannot just be what I'm doing. You need to do it better than me if you hope to get bigger than me. That's the plain, simple truth. And it's not easy advice, and it's very hard to do, and it'll take years, but it is the actual fact of the matter. There's no growth mechanism for small streamers that will let you leapfrog me in views. So you got to do it the good old-fashioned way by just simply being a better streamer. If you use all these tips, you'll get close. You won't get past me because you'll be operating on the knowledge that I have. So you'll need to pull knowledge from other places. I'm not the end-all informant on how to get big on Twitch. I'm just a guy who happened to pop off and has some things he learned along the way. There are other resources you can use. If you want the nitty-gritty details, I'm not the guy for it. It's things like, what mic do I use? When do I stream? What camera do I use? Do I use a camera? Well, just go to Alpha Gaming on YouTube. That's the one place I've seen. I've read it. I've read it as a small streamer. I've read it as the tips I have. That's my entire spiel on that start date. Get to it. The moment that day hits, do not stall. Good luck.
That's pretty good. Thanks, Ludwig. And that's how we learned how to be great streamers / YouTubers. That's a YouTube cut and print. God.